Dober večer, dobri ljudje, in pozdravljeni v oddaji Večer v kavarni Hayek. Ta oddaja bo nekoliko drugačna od drugih. Ne zato, ker je zadnja oddaja druge sezone kavarne Hayek, niti ne zato, ker sem si poškodoval roko, ampak zato, ker je Slovenijo pred dnevi obiskal znani španski novinar Álvaro Peñas, dober prijatelj in tudi prijatelj Nove24TV. Predvsem pa je dober poznavalec evropske politike. Zato smo z njim opravili pogovor. Z njim se je pogovarjal novinar Nove24TV Arjan Sajovic. Poglejmo si ta intervju.
Pozdravljeni, gospod Peñas, dobrodošli v oddajo Večer v kavarni Hayek.
Thanks a lot for the invitation. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
No, gospod Peñas, pa dajmo kar začeti z volitvami v Evropski parlament. Nekako po štetju rezultatov vidimo, da so zmagale desne opcije. Vas je to presenetilo? Ne?
Well, it was expected. I expected a turn to the right because all the polls say so. But at the end, it was a good surprise, seeing at least like groups like the far left or the Greens have a very bad result. But also, at the European level, we saw that the turn to the right was true. In many places, it was high support for the European Popular Party, and also for groups of ECR or Identity or Democracy. But the point will be if it will be enough to get a change. But it's clear that there was a tendency of turning right and forget some things like the green policies and all this stuff. So this is good news for Europe.
Kaj pa situacija v Španiji? Tam je največ glasov prejela ljudska stranka. Kam lahko sploh zares uvrstimo to stranko na političnem prizorišču?
Well, yes, the People's Party, el Partido Popular, they won the elections, but also they won the general elections and the socialists are in government. So it's not enough sometimes to win. And also the situation in Spain is quite complicated because also in the right, between the Partido Popular and Vox, there is a lot of controversies of fights. So there is they cooperate in local and regional governments, but they are not able to do the same at the national level, especially because the Partido Popular is very concerned, in some point is very leftist. I can put you a good example, which is very recent in Madrid, the capital of Spain. Now we'll have the Pride events. So the town hall decided to put 600,000 euros money for this Pride event. 200,000 euros money are for lubricants. So if a party in the right or who has some moral values do this, we have one problem. Yes, they have many people who can be perfectly can be member of the Socialist Party, because in the moral things or in the cultural things, they are very leftist, they are very progressive. So not all, of course, are like that, and many of the voters are not like that. But in the leadership, there is many people like that, and that's a big problem for Spain.
Katere teme pa so bile v Španiji najbolj izpostavljene pred volitvami? Vemo, da se tudi Španija sooča z velikimi težavami na področju ilegalnih migracij.
Well, the main idea I will start with the government, the Socialist Party. It's very funny. The main idea of the Socialist Party, the slogan was more Europe, but they didn't speak nothing about Europe. They just say, okay, we are fighting the extreme right and the right extreme. So they were all the time speaking about fascism, extreme right, etc., etc. The left is, sometimes is boring if you are a political analyst, but they have seen that this works. And many people react to this, yes? So they just are all the time speaking that we are going to lose rights and we are going to lose things because the wolf is coming, not extreme right. The Partido Popular, the Popular Party, make a campaign against Pedro Sánchez. So we are going to end the Sanchismo, the Sanchez government. Also, this is quite empty because you are not saying, okay, you are not speaking about Europe and you are not speaking about what we are going to do to end this, because we say we are going to end this and then what? You have to make proposals, and sadly this is like has been very difficult for some politicians to work and make proposals. And Vox speaks especially about immigration, illegal immigration. So yeah, and this is also a problem, it's true. But still in some places people does not see this. So it depends on where you are living. In Catalonia, for example, that they use the same campaign. And it was, I think, quite successful because, yes, in Catalonia they have a big problem with migration, especially from North Africa. And so, and yes, very conflictive migration. So yes, it's very different issues, but of course nobody speaks of Europe, or they speak very little. For me, I think the most correct in this point was Vox, because they try to explain people that it's true that in Europe is deciding policies at European level that at the end decides who is going to come to your door and who are you going to let in. So this is very important, yes. But I think like in many countries, Spanish people does not understand this too much. They just are thinking in a national level.
Pa če se morda vrneva nazaj na evropsko raven. V javnosti vlada nekako vse bolj negativno mnenje, kar se tiče Evropske komisije, bruseljskih uradnikov. Kako pa vi dojemate to birokratsko strukturo bruselsko?
I think we share the same opinion. I don't like what the European Commission or the bureaucrats are doing. I think they live like in a, I don't know the word in English, sorry. Like they live in a war apart, yes, can be the expression. I have one friend, was one Portuguese politician of Chega, and he called them Cosmopolistan. Yes, and they live in this magazine for people who has money and who want to spend their money, in fashion things, and they are living out of reality. I think the problem we are having with the European Commission is they don't live in reality. I can tell you one interesting history. I made an interview with Fabrice Leggeri, which was candidate for Assemblement National, #3. He got elected. And he has been the director of Frontex, the European Agency for Borders. And when he spoke with the Commission, because they were preparing to have uniforms, to have weapons, like a police force. And the answer, Ylva Johansson, which is the Interior Commissioner, she said, no, you don't need weapons because migrants come for love. So you just have to let them in, because this is what we are going to have. So there is no other option, so forget about weapons or about uniforms or anything. So this is a good example of how they are living in a parallel world. They are not living in reality. So for me, this is a big problem, because they are taking very important decisions for all of us.
Če morda še malček ostanemo pri Evropski komisiji, do sedaj je bila predsednica von der Leyenova, glede na zmago Evropske ljudske stranke vse kaže, da bo spet. Se strinjate s tem, da bo ponovno zavzela to mesto?
Ursula von der Leyen has, yes, it's possible she will be again, but it's not as clear, because now the Popular Party, they won the elections, but the supporters, they can call other parties like Renew or the Socialists, they lose power. So I think the situation is not as easy, maybe, like the last time. And even in the EPP, there is a lot of people who doesn't like Ursula von der Leyen work, because she has been, as we know, very leftist, really, because she has applied the rule of law only when there is a conservative or a right-wing government. But she doesn't anything when the left is, is doing very bad things. So I think it's not going to be so easy. The problem is that if maybe Ursula von der Leyen does not get it, but who? And also the point we are saying, for me, is one big problem we have in Europe, is probably will be another person, another weak person. You know what I mean? Not a person who is strong, not a good politician. No, something who can be here, can be a socialist, can be a liberal, something with not a strong personality or not a strong will to take decisions. So I think that's what this is the main problem.
Pri zadnjem vprašanju ste morda že to nekako načeli, ampak vseeno, kakšno je pa vaše mnenje o von der Leyenovi? Nekako se drži ta oznaka globalistke, ki se podreja interesom globalnih elit. Se strinjate s to oceno?
Ursula von der Leyen, it's like this all bureaucrats group. there is also a good history with her. You know that she was supporter of the wolves, but the wolves killed their pony. So she changed her mind, yes? Or, for example, she has been a great supporter of the green policies. And then we have the war in Ukraine, and I think somebody saw that you cannot build tank munition in a green farm. Mm-hmm. So she said, okay, we are going to need heavy industry. So I think Ursula von der Leyen is this kind of person which has not really believes nothing. You know, it's like, okay, now I say this, I see this is happening, so I change my mind, and there is no problem because there are no consequences of the bad policies they have done. So yeah, I don't like her. I hope other person will come, but the problem is that, as I told you before, that we don't know who is going to come, because sometimes you say, okay, this was bad, but it was good compared with the next. Yes, we will see.
Maybe to end, morda za konec. Vse smernice kažejo to, da ta postmodernistična Evropska unija drvi v moralni ekonomski razpad. Je to možno ustaviti in kako vi vidite prihodnost Evropske unije?
Europe is in a bad situation, that's clear. We are seeing that we are weak. We have very bad policies in the borders. We see how we have pressure for third world countries. We have a war in Ukraine. We have a disaster in the economy. Yes, it's a very bad situation. And, but I think now the tendency is moving right. Not only the voters, I hope more people start to thinking what is going to happen next week, or next month, or next year, not just what is going to happen today. And I hope that this marks a change of the tendency. And it's in some ways it's happening. And also we have to take advantage of the reality. What I told you before about the tanks and the green farms. This is a reality. You need armies if you want to be independent, if you want, and you know well in Slovenia that this is true, yes? You need people who is willing to fight. So you cannot have these crazy agendas, this mentality against patriotism, against conservative values, because at the end people, when they are going to a war, they go to defend their country, their families. Nobody is going to a war for defending the LGBTQ+, or I don't know, any other of these crazy ideas, yes, or of the green world. So at the end, you are going to need a more healthy society. So I think some people is realizing this. I think it's growing, the amount of people who is realizing this. So I hope, I think we have hope. Okay, the hope is the last thing you can lose, yes? And I think there is hope. I think we can change the tide and have again a Europe which is a place, like was before, a place which is good to live, and it's better than many other places that we have around, and that really they try to destroy us.
No, upajmo. Gospod Peñas, najlepša hvala za vaš čas, da ste se nam pridružili v tej oddaji in srečno.
Thank you, and it was very good to meet you.
Španskemu novinarju Álvaru ni kaj dodati. Upajmo le, da bodo globalistične elite upoštevale voljo državljanov nacionalnih držav Evropske unije. In s to oddajo zaključujemo drugo sezono Kavarne Hayek. Se vidimo jeseni. Sicer pa želim prijeten večer in ostanite še naprej z nami. In kakopak, preživite prekrasno poletje. Lahko noč.